Thank you so much. Actually, the details are going to be provided by Katie Parton because she knows all the details. Again, we're in the final stage of this planning process. Obviously, job is not done yet because we need to start implementation, and that's when the real job is done. I also would like to thank everybody for their engagement and for their contribution. We really feel this is kind of like collaboration process, and it should be. This is a strategic plan for all of us. So when you see the strategic plan, think of it, this is the high-level planning. So this is like umbrella under which all of the unit plans are going to put their plans, and that's where actions are going to take place. That's where the strategy meets the implementation. So all of your input is well captured, and since you're boots on the ground, most of the input really is going to be into implementation plans. That's when you're going to see those actions, and all of these actions actually have to be measurable, because that's how we're going to know that we're actually meeting the goals, we're ensuring our progress, and we're ensuring accountability after all. So without too much detail, let's go into more details. I would like to invite Dr. Parton because she's the mastermind behind all of this.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Just a few things that I want to highlight and really to kind of repeat a bit of what the Provost and Alma have said is that we have been working really hard for the past 10 months on this plan, and I want to give a big shout out to all of you who have participated in that in one way or another, whether you're on the committees, whether you have been brought in as a subject matter expert to the committees when we're looking at the types of measures that we need to be doing, or whether or not you have provided feedback on the draft that we have submitted out to the campus community so far. There was a lot of great feedback, and it was very useful information. And personally, I just want to say, since I was the one reading through all of it, was that it was so heartening to see that everyone was really giving their best intentions of good information of how we can make this a good strategic plan that helps the university. And to also reiterate something that Alma said was that we are working really diligently this time around to make sure that the university strategic plan is just that. It is very high level so that everyone can see themselves in it. That's a lot of the feedback that we got from folks, is that if we are too detailed, then it's very difficult for units and departments to be able to put themselves within a particular goal or strategy and find things that they can do to make it actionable. So we worked hard to take all of the details, make sure that we have access to them so we can help folks use that when they are working on their unit plans, and then we are keeping the university level plan very high level so that it can be the umbrella for all of that. That also helps with what Dr. Bradley has been saying in terms of flexibility and being nimble, right? Is that our plan at the university level can be broad enough that it can cover a lot of the changes that might have to be made, and then unit plans can go into the detail to be edited if needed to, or made changes throughout the next 5 years as we look to make our actions and make sure that things come to fruition. As I noted, we got great feedback from folks, campus feedback form, the executive leadership team, and the Council of Academic Officers, and we hope that you will recognize that we have taken that feedback and put it into the plan. And then also, as I think Alma said, was that if there was any information that we were provided in the feedback form that didn't directly relate to the strategic plan, but it was really helpful information to help us streamline things or make sure that resources are being used appropriately, we're making a list of that as well, so that we can share that with the appropriate folks and we can use all of that information. So everything you shared with us has been fantastic. And now I will pass it off to Dr. Dupuy to share with you some information about Learn.
Thank you. So just a reminder to everyone, there are 4 pillars, right? Learn, discover, connect, and work. I'll be talking about the Learn pillar. The goals and strategies, there have not been major changes to those, so the majority of our work the past several weeks has been on the actions. Just to summarize, Learn has 2 goals. The first goal is really about access, support, and high quality teaching to help students succeed while they're at U of L. And the second goal is about fostering lifelong learning, critical thinking, global engagement, and to help prepare students beyond graduation. Okay, so in our first goal, the theme really is to create exceptional student-centered educational experiences. We do this through focusing on preparing students for future successes through innovative and adaptive curricula. So there are action items in there about making sure that we have innovative curricula that is using modern technology and preparing our students for the future. Access and success for all students. So this includes our first generation students, our Pell students, adult students, online, international, all of our students. And prioritizing teaching effectiveness by using evidence-based, engaging practices. So this is helping our faculty develop high-impact practices in the classroom. The second goal is, the theme is really about building a culture of lifelong, purpose-driven learning. So we're emphasizing transformative opportunities like research, community engagement, undergraduate research, community-based learning, study abroad, capstone senior design projects, so these very high impact practices that we know help our students understand the material both in the classroom context and beyond when they go into the working world. It also promotes, the second goal, we have actions that help promote integration of curricular and co-curricular experiences that help build workforce readiness, adaptability, and global awareness. And finally, some of the action items on that second goal supports the development of our students, not just academically, but also civically, professionally, and personally. And next is Katie, who will be talking about Discover.
Thank you. So Dr. John Klein, who is our EVP for Research and Innovation, led this pillar, and he couldn't be with us today, so I will kind of guide you through the Discover pillar. So there are three goals under the Discover pillar, and each goal has two strategies. And I don't like to read, but here we are. So, but this is very important to me in my role, so I will walk us through here. So the first goal, enhance research and innovation to drive societal impact and economic growth by strengthening foundational research excellence and accelerating scholarly output in high impact areas. So under here, the actions are investing strategically in research infrastructure and also implementing a centralized cluster hiring program. The next strategy is to build a comprehensive innovation and translation platform to drive economic growth and AI adoption. And the actions are to streamline and resource the innovation to market translation pipeline. So this is really all about redesigning the tech transfer process and creating diverse funding streams to support AI research infrastructure and the development of interdisciplinary teams that are well positioned to compete for external funding. The next goal is to achieve national and international prominence in strategically targeted scholarly area. The first strategy is to drive scholarly distinction and cultural impact through targeted investments in humanities, arts, and the social sciences. And to do this, we propose to establish a dedicated framework and resources to accelerate this type of scholarship and also ensure high quality, accessible physical and technical environments for programs. The next strategy is to accelerate high-impact STEM and biomedical research by prioritizing interdisciplinary talent and securing large, complex research funding. And we propose to do this by implementing a centralized cluster recruitment program. So that would obviously be in collaboration with the units, and provide high-level scientific editing and project management and strategic guidance for these kinds of grants. And then the last goal is to become a leader in advancing health and well-being through impactful research and innovative technology. And again, two strategies here. The first is propel health technology innovation by fostering cross-disciplinary research in the physical sciences and biomedical research. We propose to do this by establishing and resourcing dedicated cross-college innovation hubs. And then lastly, drive transformative research focused on health span, prevention, and equitable health outcomes. And we propose to do this by driving cutting-edge research and innovation aimed at prolonging health span and improving overall health outcomes. Essentially, seed funding for these kinds of efforts. So I think this is a good distillation of the important work that the Discover pillar has been engaged in. And so with this, I think I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Dr. Craddock.
So good afternoon, everyone. Representing the Connect pillar, myself and also Julie Dowles, we help lead this pillar. The pillar is really focused on alumni, philanthropy engagement, as well as community engagement as well. So if you take a look at the slides itself, or if you can see it, we really focus on really 4 core goals that seek to strengthen, encourage, deepen, and cultivate. So when you think about engagement, when you think about the work that we do here within philanthropy and alumni engagement and the Office of Community Engagement, each one of those words really describe that work across the board. As you shift and look at the strategies and the actions that we have behind them, you can really see data-informed decisions that will be made around philanthropy. You can also see the strategy that exists within that and really building it out from a cultivation standpoint, but also understanding the importance of alumni and the work that we do. So we have a pool of donors that we work with to really make things happen. We also have our alumni and strengthen that group. We feel like holistically that really comes together in a meaningful and impactful way. And then if you shift to the community engagement side of the house, how we really build out our partnerships and make sure that we're not really just looking at our partners as partners, but building mutually beneficial relationships between those partners and those groups, between the university, but also between our community and the work that we do. That strengthened from our student standpoint, our faculty standpoint, as well as our staff across the board. And we also look at ways that we can increase alongside Learn, getting these students involved within internships, co-ops, and things of that nature. Make sure they're paid, but make sure they're getting learning that illustrates service, illustrates the good of the community, and make sure the work that we do here at the university is also seen outside in the community as well. So holistically, making data-driven, informed decisions around what it looks to be philanthropy, but also alumni engagement, but also community-based work that strengthens our relationship with the community from a business, nonprofit, corporate standpoint, and the work we do across the board. So within that, I'll pass it back to Katie to look at the work pillar.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, this is the last pillar. So this is the work pillar, and it was co-chaired by Cherie Dawson-Edwards and Terrell Clark. So this last pillar has 2 goals and 4 strategies. So the first goal is to cultivate a high-performing, inclusive, and well-supported workforce and culture. And the first strategy is to establish a transparent, performance-based talent management and compensation system. We propose to do this by aligning compensation adjustments with demonstrated contributions, leadership, and training milestones through a transparent, performance-based system, and by regularly benchmarking and allocating budget to maintain market competitive compensation. The second strategy is to champion well-being, belonging, and a flexible, adaptive work environment. And we propose to do this by instituting a comprehensive repository for tiered training in leadership, research, teaching, and staff development, and by assessing university-wide wellness and well-being programming and developing a proactive employee outreach and awareness campaign. And then the last goal of the strategic plan is to achieve operational excellence and financial sustainability through workforce optimization and digital transformation. And again, 2 strategies here. The first is systematically audit, redesign, and digitize all core administrative functions to eliminate redundancies, enhance efficiency, and provide real-time data for decision-making. We propose to do this by conducting thorough process audits and redesign workflows, and by digitizing core administrative systems with real-time accurate dashboards for improved transparency. And then the last strategy is to institutionalize disciplined fiscal management and multi-year financial planning by strategically expanding and diversifying the institutional revenue portfolio and implementing multi-year fiscal practices and workforce planning models. So that is a very quick summary of the current iteration of the strategic plan, and you all are going to get to see all of that in detail and be able to provide us with feedback. The next thing that I wanted to share with you before I hand off to the president is that I think we had forecasted to you all that we're going to ask for your help in naming the strategic plan. So we have a number of different options for you, and I guess they have, oh, y'all don't have this. Do you all have this? Vote for the plan title. Yes, okay, you have it. So there are 5 different potential names here, and you can vote now. So you just need to scan the QR code, and whichever of these titles gets the most votes will be the name of our next 5-year strategic plan. So you'll see a theme here, right? Igniting potential, shaping tomorrow, soaring higher, innovate, connect, thrive, soaring together, and soaring to success. So I hope that you all will just take a minute and vote for your favorite of those potential titles. So with that, I'm going to hand off to President Bradley, who will take us into the next part of the presentation.
I'm soaring in. Hi, everyone. Sorry about the, obviously the glitch here on not being able to show the slides, but thank you all for certainly taking the time to be here today and to be able to kind of review where we're at, and all of the folks out online who have been able and have contributed is really appreciated. So, as we talked about the work of the committees, we also said that at some point we wanted to address the mission, visions, and statements that we had used in previous strategic plans. We hadn't had them updated in a long period of time, and also we had sort of what was at that point the cardinal principles that when President Bendibudi was here, she kind of had brought in and was certainly popularized, but yet was never really formally approved by the Board of Trustees. So going forward, we want to make sure that everything is going to the Board of Trustees and approved. So as how we got to where we are here today, we put together a committee that was made up of members of the other 4 committees. So we wanted to make sure the people who were involved in the work and the trenches of getting the work to this point in time were also involved now in actually going through the mission, vision, and value statements. So the people who were working on that, Angela Taylor, Anita Hall, Brian Buford, Sheree Dawson-Edwards, Dwayne Crumpton, Emmy Ramirez, Nick Knowles, Pat Smith, Thomas Barfield, and then Tanya Shive Augustine. So again, a big shout out to those folks who went over and above their work on the committees. They went and started to work on those mission vision statements that we already had on our website, and we had been formally approved by the last Board of Trustees. So when we think about, what is the vision, I mean, clearly vision is what we aspire to, okay? So that's kind of where we want to go. Mission is why we exist, why we are here and at the university. And then the values is essentially how we conduct ourselves. So that's the slide that you have here. So rummaging through my paper here. Reminds us all of the old days when we were giving presentations. So you'll see with our draft mission statement, I think, you see that there was a lot of it in there that was in the original mission statement. So again, we wanted to be true to the mission of the university. And so you'll see the University of Louisville is a premier metropolitan research university working to educate and serve the public through teaching, research, and community engagement. Rooted in the state's largest urban area and extending across the Commonwealth, we advance knowledge through transformative education, engage partnerships, and innovative research and creative activity, driving progress and improving quality of life and health across the communities we serve. So again, these are, we think, encapsulate the very functions that we have as an institution of higher learning, but also encapsulate our work around healthcare, and to the health system. As regards the draft vision statement, to be a leading destination where academic excellence and opportunity converge, fostering a vibrant and inclusive culture that empowers every learner to succeed. We will set a national standard by building a community of bold innovators and responsible stewards of knowledge, resources, and sustainability, driving transformative progress in health outcomes and societal well-being. So again, that's the draft vision statement. And then the committee went in and looked at the cardinal principles and used the cardinal principles as a starting point. I think as a result of the work of the committee, they decided that instead of having cardinals, we would have cards, so it was shortened to cards. And so the C would be community of care. So at U of L, care is foundational. We look out for ourselves, one another, and our greater community because we believe leadership is the shared responsibility of every one of us. We are U of L. It's more than a phrase. It's our powerful promise to show up for each other with heart, pride, and accountability. The A stands for agility. We just don't respond to change. We anticipate and embrace it. When challenges arise, we adopt, we own our missteps, and move forward smarter and stronger. Staying isn't Staying still isn't an option. Evolving is how we thrive. The R is respect. We champion every individual's humanity and right to be heard. Respect at U of L means welcoming different views, even when they challenge us, because growth comes from honest, sometimes uncomfortable dialogue. Here we prepare ourselves for the real world, not protect them from it. D is diversity. Diversity is not just a value, it is the heartbeat of our university. We are committed to creating an inclusive campus where students, faculty, and staff from all backgrounds can thrive, contribute, and lead. As Kentucky's motto declares, united we stand, divided we fall. And S stands for sustainability. We honor our sacred trust, the stewardship of knowledge, potential, and a better world by making bold, responsible choices that serve people, the planet, and future generations. Sustainability isn't just an initiative, it is how we operate, we invest and lead with a deep commitment to leave our institution and the world it serves stronger than we have found it. So those are the CARD's principles. Again, we are asking for feedback on those as well as we go forward, as we are asking for feedback on the draft. So please, be a part of that process so we can hear your voice as we move forward.